All right, guess what? CrunchCast. Haven't seen us in a while, but here we are. It's me, Chris Holden, and John Jones. What's up, John?
Yo! It's been too long since we've done this. I think the last full CrunchCast was August 19th.
The weird thing about that is I have to look that up.
Yeah, I just did too.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Were you in New York?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I've actually this week will be my 1-year anniversary of moving to New York.
Wow. We lost a lot of time, but we're back now, so hopefully we can catch up. Actually, I went to New York. I visited you. That was a good time.
Yeah, that was a blast. It's the first time you've ever come out to visit me. New York's a pretty neat place.
It was back in September. It's a good time of year to visit New York. It's not too hot. Still not winter. Tourism is off? I don't know.
Yeah, it was perfect. The weather's wonderful. It's before it got just fucktastically cold.
Yeah.
Because we're going right now through the polar vortex?
Oh.
Is that what they're calling it? Or
yeah, that's what they're calling it.
the sub-zero fuck you. It's been crazy seeing how that's gone down. But yeah, September, October is perfect. When you were here, we had just barely missed seeing... let's see, when we were going around the city, you and I went to Times Square, and I think we missed seeing Paul McCartney perform an impromptu concert.
Oh, yeah. There was one day that happened right before we got there.
Exactly,
and then, what was the night? We went to Comedy Cellar, and right after we left, Tracy Morgan and Patton Oswalt showed up, right?
And we also missed Banksy, the famous graffiti artist, did his month-long residence.
Yes.
He was doing one thing a day, and he set up a booth. He paid some old dude to sell authentic Banksies, but making them look like knockoffs, selling for like $60.
We walked through Central Park, and we walked past all those people selling all the crap. It's all the same art. It's like pictures in New York. It's some nice stuff. We might have even walked past the guy, but I think we were the day before all that went down.
Yeah, I think it was. Again, barely fucking missed it.
Yeah, it's crazy that we missed all that stuff, but it was still a great time.
Oh, it was a blast. Going to the Comedy Cellar, Artie Fuqua, the showmaster, was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like he was the host. He's also been on Louis, but he was the guy that hosted the show. He had a solid stand-up routine, and almost all the comedians except for that one guy were really great.
Yeah, he was the MC. Actually, I've heard comedic legends about him. Other comedians tell stories about him, like some guy was heckling and got out of control, and he like one punch KO'd the guy. So don't fuck with Artie Fuqua.
That's awesome. Man, he was such a cool dude. Yeah, I need to go to the Comedy Cellar again. It's only like 3 or 4 blocks from where I work.
Oh yeah, you get all the legends there. It's if you live in New York, you should be taking advantage of the fact that you live there. There's so much there. I mean, yeah. I'm kind of lucky too that Denver here, we've got the Comedy Works, and these are 2 of the top rooms in the country. So,
sorry, my cat was clawing my
no problem.
Girlfriend's jacket.
If a cat doesn't interrupt this podcast, it's not a CrunchCast.
No, Kevin. But I'm sorry, the comedy, I'm sorry, I'm still a little sick. I'm kind of...
Oh, no problem. But yeah, I just suggest if you can get to one, go to a comedy show.
Yeah, I need to take more advantage of living here. I have not. I've just been working a lot, self-imposed, but I need to get out more, do more things.
No, you got to do what you got to do. It's like when you live somewhere, they say, what is it? You never go anywhere till somebody visits. Is that how it goes?
Yes, exactly. Like Meredith and I, for a while, used to go out and do one new thing every weekend, just something completely new. But we've fallen off that in the last couple of weeks. We actually, speaking of New York, do you mind if I pimp out the little contract thing I'm trying to get filled?
Oh yeah. One thing about New York before you say that, if you're in New York, just don't go out this weekend. You know, Super Bowl, UFC, all that shit. Just stay in.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, I'm staying inside.
Yeah,
They
pimp your job.
Yes. So, as of the date of this recording, February 1st, 2014, Avalanche Studios, the company I work for, is looking for 5 environment artists to come work with us on site on contract for 3 months. We will pay for you to fly out. We are renting a house somewhere in Brooklyn, most likely, and we'll put you up and give you a per day food DM to come work with us on kick-ass shit for 3 months. So we'll literally pay to fly you to New York and live here and pay for you to eat to work on awesome shit. We need we need mid to senior level environment artists with Maya experience. And yeah, that's pretty much the pitch. I need to get these people placed as soon as possible. It'll be for about 3 months, from mid-February to mid-May-ish, and it has to be on-site. You have to be available to work on-site. You have to use Maya. You cannot be a junior. You cannot be an intern, and we're not looking for anything other than an environment artist. No exceptions whatsoever. I hate to be a dick about it, but every time I post something like this, everybody tries to find some kind of exception and ignores every requirement I lay out.
It's very simple, folks.
Yes, it is very, very simple. It is exactly what it is.
You come to New York, you work in Maya, you make environments. 3 months.
Exactly, and we're in Manhattan, in Soho, which is a fucking amazing location.
I was going to say, the Soho, very nice. Right off of, like, Times Square and all that shit. You walk there. You can walk, yeah.
Yeah, I see the Chrysler Building every day when I walk home from work to the train station. It's fucking awesome.
And folks that don't know how New York works, if you're in Brooklyn, you just hop on a train. You go right there. How long is that? 15 minutes?
I'd say about 20 to 30 minutes.
Traffic times.
So it's yeah, I read books or listen to music while I commute. I was able to go through the entire collected works of Sherlock Holmes while I was commuting in the first 2 months I worked here.
It's so easy to get around that city.
Yeah, you don't have to drive. You don't have to do shit. You don't get to work on an awesome team with cool people. And if you're interested, email me at john.jones@avalanchestudios.se. Again, john.jones@avalanchestudios.se. So, yeah, it's February 1st, 2014. This need will probably be filled up in the next couple weeks. We're looking for about 5 people. So hit me up. But if you're hearing this, in 2015 or 2016, don't email me. We're done.
Or in September.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll try to put a link in the description. Maybe hit me a link after show, and I'll put it in the description.
Yes, that would be excellent. But yeah, really need people, and you get to come work with me on cool shit. So, end of advertisement. But I want to put that out there early in the show.
Yeah.
So,
and you're in NYC, so you can go to the Comedy Cellar, see great comedians, and it's New York. Everything comes to New York. If you want to see great shows, there's no reason not to be there.
Exactly. If it doesn't exist here, it doesn't exist.
And speaking of, applying for a job, you just wrote not just wrote an article, but the LinkedIn for people who hate LinkedIn.
Yes, that thing.
That just got on Gamasutra a while back.
Yeah, last November. It got some pretty good press. It's a guide explaining LinkedIn to people that hate it, and explains the importance of LinkedIn in general and why you should have one, and how it's bad not to have one, how it's easy to set one up in 15 minutes or less and then just forget about it, almost entirely, and help it have good things come to you, because it's the one trusted, controllable source of information about yourself that you can choose how to portray to people, and everybody trusts it.
Do you remember when LinkedIn launched?
Off the top of my head, I want to say 2004. I'm gonna Google that.
I just remember me and you like racing to get contacts.
Oh yeah.
Way back.
2003, May 2003.
I mean, now doesn't matter, but back then it was fun.
Oh, it was a blast. No, I really believe strongly in LinkedIn and having one, and that's actually an excellent segue into our topic. We'll figure out a title for this whole cast afterward, like we usually do. It's based on what we're able to crank out. But the general notion is, let's say you're going to be shipping in the next 2 or 3 months. We're going to go over a list of things to do and focus on to get your website, LinkedIn, resume, portfolio, and just overall public professional presence just up to date, updated, and get yourself out there. So not only can you piggyback off of your game coming out and all the marketing spend for your game, you can piggyback off that to help boost your presence and your popularity. And also kind of hedge your bets just in case they start cutting people or laying people off after the project is over, which is almost always the case with MMOs.
Well, it happens in a lot of games, and I was really thinking of our good buddy Gavin Golden, the guy. He did all the characters, not all of them, but a major amount of characters on BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
And his work is great, very inspirational. But he just posted his work like everybody else, and then all of a sudden Kotaku picked it up. He's got articles about him as a character artist, and then he moved on after that to just now Insomniac, sorry. One of my favorite studios. Gotta love Jack and Daxter. But yeah, it seemed like such a beautiful example of our game just came out. Sorry, I can't talk at all today. My game just came out. Here's all my work, and suddenly at a new studio, even though it wasn't a case where he was laid off, it was just the way he marketed himself and the way it was picked up. That was just a matter of chance that his work was picked up, but it could happen to anybody. You could make an art dump on your game, and for some reason it gets picked up by some news site, and suddenly everybody loves you.
Yeah, and that's an excellent example. It's worth googling, actually. And he did absolutely fantastic work. He's a friendly guy. He's out there and on the Facebook and Twitter and interacting, and good things kept coming to him, and he's moved onward and upward even further from BioShock Infinite, something that people will be talking about for weeks to come.
Weeks.
But I think he's an excellent example of that. And just in general, I believe in updating your portfolio quarterly. Just with whatever you're working on, like personally, whatever you're working on professionally that you can legally show. If there's any question, ask your boss or ask the people that run your company. Don't go out on a limb. Don't take any risks. Just ask them and make sure it's cool to do. And just make it clear that you just keep your shit up to date because it's a good practice. If you make it a habit and you make it clear that it's a habit, it doesn't look like you're just always looking for a job or trying to quit.
Sure. You're just keeping up to date. Yeah. I wanted to make a quick point about what you said, quarterly, and what that means.
Every 3 months.
Yes. But like what that means to a company, like financially. They look at things quarterly. It's all about finances and things like, okay, we have this many heads at the studio. And, we lost this much quarterly, so we have to lose this many heads. And one of them is you. That's what it means. So that's why you need to be up to date quarterly.
Exactly. Find out when your publishers' or quarterly filings are. Like it's not most financial years of companies don't start on January 1st. It's sort of arbitrary. Like the beginning of a financial year may be like May, April, June, July. Just find out where that is, and then offset it. Like offset how often you update by a month ahead, before time, or like a month ahead. So if your company's financial statements are published in May, make sure your portfolio is updated in April, and just try and get ahead of that and just be in the habit of doing it. Plus, hey, it's kind of like spring cleaning, but just slightly more often. And plus, you get a chance to show off cool shit you do. And then if anything bad happens in those slightly riskier than usual times, and your shit will be up to date, you're not going to be stressed out, and you'll already have been smart and been prepared and had that ready to go. To me, I think that's basic, conscientious professionalism.
And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm the kind of guy, I suggest to people, hey, every month, if you're not producing something that would be in your portfolio, maybe have a monthly piece. And I do the same thing myself, but let's just say, what are you holding up? What is that? Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, sorry, I was just pouring.
Some kind of, a stone IPA.
Stone Ruination, double IPA. Yep. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Tasty stuff. No, I was saying, sometimes you run into that issue of, this isn't better than my last portfolio piece. Like, what's the value of something newer or more up to date versus an older piece you might think is better? Like, say you're stuck. Here's an old piece I did, maybe 4 years old, but you still like it more than a new thing. What's the value of something new versus something old that might be better?
It shows you're still fucking working.
Yeah, besides that.
Dude, I've the last year I've gone over 200 or 300 resumes of for junior artists, and many of whom are art school graduates, like Full Sail especially. And I'd say maybe 80% of the time, there's nothing new in their portfolio since they graduated, like a year or two before. It's like they graduated and just stopped making any art, but they're still applying for a job. I look at that and think, you gave up. Why are you even interested in this? Are you interested in art? Or just a job,
Another condition there is how many times, I've seen it a lot, I'm just asking you personally, how many times have you got the same portfolio submitted, say, a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, how many years, and you're like, oh, there's a new portfolio, and you click it, and it's the same pieces. Like, how depressing is that?
That is fairly depressing. I honestly haven't seen that a whole lot, just in terms of the portfolios being exactly the same, but I have frequently seen just like the same old ass shit plus a couple new things fairly often. I mean, there's something to be said for having good old stuff, but if the bulk of your portfolio is still just like all this really old shit, why are you applying for a job if you don't make art anymore?
Sure. I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody. I have some pieces in my portfolio from 2008 just because I love them. I'm like, yay, I did that.
But a PSP Cats game?
Yeah, my PSP. No, that's not on there, but I still have like a Warhammer Online. That was from 2008. But I need to update that shit, I guess.
But there's something wrong with having, having stuff in there that's older. What's important is that you're still updating it and still putting new shit in.
Oh yeah, I try to.
And that's what matters. Just if you're trying to, apply for a contract or a job or something, showing that you're actually still actively making art. I mean, when I look at so many resumes and so many portfolios, I can't help it, but they all start to blend together, and I start seeing things in common. And I start automatically grouping and classifying things differently. Like it's a little hard to remember like each one is an individual person when I have like 100 review portfolios to go through in a single day. So I notice the stuff that stands out, and I notice the common things that like group and clump together into a single category. And just noticing that a lot of graduates don't keep making art after they graduate was something that I did start to notice, and that started being kind of a way that I would grade or qualify what I'm looking at. And it makes me look at portfolios not as long or not really consider them as much. It's like, all right, well, you're applying for a job, but you haven't made art for a year, even though you have a degree doing it. You don't even do it for fun. I know life happens, but I mean, if you can make time, you know?
Yeah, that might be a way that people just don't look at their own portfolio or others. That you don't know that perspective where, okay, you're at a major studio, whatever, and you put out a job app, and then tomorrow your inbox has dozens of emails. The first step is you just open them, click portfolio, like one after another. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. You're just going down this list, and you see so many. I guess the best example anyone could do is just like go to Polycount, search every thread that says portfolio, and open them all up, and try to click through them in a minute or two. Try to recognize these patterns. Now imagine you're somebody that this is your job, and you're getting dozens of these a day.
And imagine that's on top of the 8 hours of work you already have to do.
Actual work you have to do. That's where people don't understand. They just don't realize these problems. That they're little, you got to click here, and then you click this thumbnail, and then the image comes up, and it's the image, a wireframe, but they're smaller image, so you got to click those again to get the full screen. Good God!
Oh my God! It really can be kind of a pain in the ass. Ultimately, I'm still doing something fun, but I know that when I was wanting to break in the industry, I just wanted to get noticed and do the best I could, and get a job doing something cool. And I know that that's ultimately where I think everybody's coming from. That's why I like talking about this kind of thing. Like, okay, it's like I know exactly where you were and what you're thinking and how you're hoping this will turn out. So, here I am in this fairly privileged position. I'll be completely honest. I bitch about it, but it's a cool thing to.
Absolutely.
I just want to, help people be able to do their best and know what is their best. And I think this CrunchCast, going over kind of how to, just what portfolio and resume spring cleaning looks like, and some ideas on. Ow, my cat is biting the shit out of me.
And just to fill in there, it's the same problems. We discussed this, when we're making sure all the audio and stuff was syncing and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Our little pre-setup, we discussed this. We said, I'm still go to Polycount, and I still give feedback, and it's all the same problems. It's the same problems that you wrote about. Your portfolio repels jobs. It's a stickied, archived thread on Polycount. It's an article. It was your, coming of ages article.
That was us. Really.
What year was that? 2005, 4, 3,
October
2, 1?
2005.
It's everybody still makes the same stupid mistakes.
Still.
if we could find who is saying, yeah, good job, keep up the good work, and break their legs, and by that I mean their fingers that type on the internet. Like somebody's feeding bad info. But it's still the same problems. It's the same.
And it just goes on and on and on. And I maintain that I still hate Flash just as much now as I did in 2005. Or at least, more specifically, I hate Flash used poorly.
It didn't change.
Which is at all in a portfolio.
And everybody still finds the worst picture they could ever find of themselves and put it on a page, on their portfolio, they call it the About page.
I'm doing an impression of almost every single one of them.
Look up more so we can see up your nose. Yeah, there it is. Look at all those boogies.
It's for the listeners. It's like leaning back, arms crossed awkwardly, neck kind of scrunched down, chin up, not sure whether to stare at the camera or just past it. Usually black and white.
Didn't shave. It's not like I did, but I'm just saying. No, the About page picture is the duck face of Facebook.
Wait, what is?
The About page picture is the duck face of Facebook.
It's like, here I am in a non-threatening environment. I don't know how to pose for a picture. I just make art.
It just goes back to saying this. The personal interview, just save it for the personal interview. Don't put it on your website. Don't talk about how you like to dick around with the guitar or whatever.
Well, the guy's art wasn't very good, but he plays the guitar. I'm going to hire that.
Yeah. Well, he sucks at what we need, but he's a big fan of a band I like. This is terrible.
The only way I think an About photo page would work is if you're an attractive woman.
Or if you're The Rock.
Yeah, the Rock is our new junior animator. I don't know.
He's laying the smackdown on everyone.
He's the angriest bird.
Look, the reality is, The Rock wouldn't have a shitty portfolio with a dumb About page. You go to his portfolio, it'd be just like art, resume. Because that man gets work. But what are you supposed to do? You say you're at a job. Just 45 days leading up to launch. What do you do?
Yes, 45 days pre-launch. Start posting your art from that project that you can legally show on forums. And actually, side note, I would accept a portfolio from The Rock that was in Flash if the loading page was a close-up of his forehead showing his eyebrow slowly arching up to 100%. Not bad. Wow. So
yeah, you have that moment. Your game's gonna launch. You can go to your studio. You say, "Hey, let's advertise this. Here's the art community. Let's post art. Let's make it happen." Sometimes they'll let you do it. There's been a few times where studios were very open about it, and there's big, like you go to a Paul account, big art dumps. Those are the best. Those really promote games. Those actually help make me want to buy games because I see these art dumps. I'm like, wow, the game looks great. I should buy this just to look at it.
Totally, I've done that. I mean,
that's very niche. That's not the major market, so they're probably not going to give a shit. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a cool thing to put out there, and like what happened with Gavin Golden, I mean, Kotaku can really, really amplify that shit, and you can, help excite the broad player base. But I mean, that's secondary to just getting your work out there, but I think it'd be awesome if more companies did huge art dumps like that. If more artists at developers worked with their management and with their studio to encourage them to do big, concept art dumps or whatever, like either before or after a game's release. I mean, it's like minor helpful promo material stuff, but that could all, if it's popular enough, it could be turned into like an art book or a downloadable PDF or like a fun,
Like a
bundle thing.
making of or a book, art books. You said like
Yeah,
everybody that I know loves art books, but
shit, yeah,
I just don't see those as major sellers. They're not going to make money. It's more of a fan service. So at
totally.
least just making it like a PDF or a digital download, that's free. Just do it. Give it to us.
Yeah, so you can just pitch that to your bosses, pitch it to your art director, and just say, hey, this game's about to come out. We're really excited about this. I mean, we're thinking that, this could be a lot of fun to put out there to other artists in the community. And, hey, look at that Gavin Golden guy.
Yeah.
I mean, look what happened to, to the art that just he posted for BioShock. That turned into this. I mean, ultimately all this can be a good thing for you and your career and your just own general self-promotion, whether or not you're looking for another job. They can also be good for your company and for the people around you, for helping boost morale and just, I mean, it's just a cool thing to do. And plus, I mean, your publisher is spending millions of dollars, hopefully, marketing your game. Why not, just take advantage of the increased media presence and scrutiny that they're paying for and get your own stuff in there. Get your coworkers' stuff in there. Just help start broadcasting it and have that be, something you can do if you have the time and the lead up to launch.
It is really a small thing to think about the art. Again, we said it's a niche group that looks at it, interested in it, really learns from it, art book purchases. It is a niche group. But I've even had people, Warhammer Online. Like even a year ago, somebody sent me an email and said, hey, how do I get better at this style? Just because I worked on the game. And I said, well, if you're really that interested, there is an art book. And it was the art book that came with the game. If you bought the collector's edition, blah, blah, blah. You could buy it separate, but whatever. Just as an offshoot comment that I mentioned that it existed. And he's like, oh, wow. And he bought it. He found it online. He was so excited.
That's awesome.
Those people. It's those people. The little guy. That's what that shit's important for, man. Like, I have folders from art dumps. Years ago, I'm like, oh, wow. Here's that art dump from whatever. Just recently, I would give props to the game Rise. Beautiful art dump.
Oh,
if you haven't seen it.
No.
You haven't seen it? Oh, it's beautiful. But
what the hell am I done? What the hell am I doing with my time?
Oh no.
I love art.
RYSE. Just Google polycount RYSE Rise dump DUMP, and you'll find the big. I'm sure probably and some porn, but beautiful art dump.
Just get ready.
Doesn't care what you think about the game. Beautiful art dump.
So it's loading. Get ready for my video to pixelate for like 10 minutes.
Nice. But yeah, the environment's there. Beautiful. There's a lot of games that have amazing art and kind of get, swept under the rug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Games that aren't that great. Not saying Rise isn't great. I'm just saying there's other games. There's a lot of.
There's a beautiful game like Rise.
No, there's a lot of games that are amazing, and no one knows because they have these art books or art dumps. You just didn't know. But what does that even have to do, John, with the fact that your project is just days away, 15 days from pre-launch? What do you do?
In that case, I think that I've seen a lot of developers take the effort to ask their employees to help pimp things out, like articles, screenshots, previews, and whatnot on their own social media accounts. And I've, in the case of, I feel a little bad saying this because I have so many friends that used to work there. But BioWare Austin was the first time I saw it done on a very, very wide, broad scale. And everyone I used to work with there would always post like all the same articles about the game like 3 to 5 times a week, all at the same time, almost as if like the social media for all of BioWare told them to post this at exactly this time. It was really weird. It's like it turned the whole company into like their social media agency. So that I thought that can get kind of annoying, but I still think the core of it is a good idea. Help pimp out your game. Just say, hey, everybody, this is what I'm working on. This is a cool thing. And do it like maybe, I'd say like twice a week at most. Don't be the super annoying, obnoxious person doing it, and don't post it if you're just not feeling it. But being able to help, promote and encourage the just help promote your game. Like, hey, here's a preview, or here's a developer diary, here's something cool that I thought was cool about my game. And, here it is. Just don't be an ass about it. Never do it more than twice a week. But, in the weeks leading up to your game, that's a good way to get your name out there, to get more eyes on your game, which can only help you and your company, but also to identify and show the public, like, hey, I am working on this thing. Because, I have a lot of developer friends, but I don't always know what they're working on. But if you can take advantage of social media like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, that kind of thing, and that's something that's just good for everybody.
And YouTube. It makes me really sad when I know one of my buddies is working on a big title, some game, and you hear nothing for years, but they're working on it. Like, come on, give us some pics, some concept art, a dev diary. Those things are beautiful.
Yeah. And I mean, it's so good for team morale just to be able to have something out there. Because I've done projects so often that I can just never talk about what I'm working on, and sometimes they get canceled before it'll ever be released or announced. There's a game that I worked on years ago that I still can't legally talk about or admit having ever worked on. And the project I'm on now is probably the coolest fucking thing I've ever done, and I can't say what it is yet. Oh, I can't wait. But I promise, once it is announced, I will follow the never more than twice a week rule. Actually, in the absence of a rule of etiquette like that, I'd say the twice a week rule is perfect for being able to pimp your game to people on your Facebook and Twitter without being annoying. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, I mean,
because we here. I can tell. Saw you left for a second. Did you hear what I said about BioWare Austin before?
Might have missed it. Go ahead.
They gosh bless them. I have so many friends that used to work there, and I love them all to bits. But I always got the impression that BioWare told their employees which stories to post to all their social media accounts on which day and which time. So many of them on Facebook. It was like I'd have pages flooded with exactly the same article from every BioWare Austin employee that I knew, and it seemed like they turned their entire company into like their own social media arm. That was just like, it honestly got to be really fucking annoying. Sorry guys, I hit a lot of you.
That's kind of the nature of Facebook, though. It's like I'll check Facebook and I'll see that. Oh, don't get me started on Facebook. These motherfuckers. Look, if you saw it as the main news story of whatever dumb site you go to when you wake up in the morning, and you share it on Facebook, we've already seen it on our own dumb top news story of whatever crap site we like. I don't know. Is there anybody out there that goes to Facebook and go, oh, here's my news? Oh. Is there anybody? Who's that? Somebody's going to tell me. They're going to say, oh, yeah, I just go to Facebook. I don't check any news. I don't go to any websites. I just go to Facebook. That's just me.
I'm going to sound like such a snob, but that person probably also doesn't know what Reddit is.
Ugh. Oh, I see you're posting something that was on the front page of Reddit 3 weeks ago. Good job. Way to win the internet. I hope everybody likes your post.
Oh, man, we're dicks. When did we turn into dicks?
Look, while we're at it, I'm just going to vent. every time on Facebook, if somebody posts an article with blah, blah, blah happened, you won't believe what happened next. If that's the headline, go fuck yourself. I know what happened next because I saw that article 2 weeks ago, you piece of shit. And if you post an article on some website like Wimp, Kotaku, BuzzFeed, whatever, and I click on that, and it's just embedded YouTube video, go fuck yourself. Link me the YouTube video. Don't link me a site that's taking advantage and grabbing ad revenue on a YouTube video because they posted an article that said, hey, look at this dumb YouTube video. It's my pet peeve.
That shit drives me up the wall as well.
It makes me crazy. But what does this have to do with pre- and post-launch video games, John?
That entire time I was trying to find out a way to work in, doctors hate him.
Yeah. You know when they say 9 out of 10 doctors suggest blah, blah, blah? I'm that one that says don't do that. I'm that asshole.
Iconoclast hole. So, yes, art dumps.
Art dumps are great. Go ahead.
Pre-launch, post-launch. Yeah, just when you post art, always ask your art director, your boss, or whoever, just be absolutely fucking crystal clear what you can put on your portfolio and show publicly. The general rule of thumb is, if the art has been posted in a screenshot by your company publicly already, usually it's okay. But never guess. Always check.
Always be sure. Very important. Muy importante. Check.
Because the people, how do I put this? The people that pay you money to do the cool thing you do shouldn't be made angry so they don't want to keep giving you money. Yeah, that sounds about right. So,
right.
Ask.
Yeah. And another way of putting it is, game developers are dumb. Don't trust your gut. Check with your boss.
Yeah, pretty much. Always cover your bases. Always operate by the rules. Always come from the standpoint of I'm doing what's best for the game and I'm following the rules. Because it's very, very fucking hard to disagree with you or argue with you if that is your moral basis for any action you take.
It kind of goes along with this. Have you ever been in this position? I know I have, and I know other people have, at plenty of companies. Okay, marketing is taking screenshots. The screenshots stink on ice. But you and other developers have been taking screenshots, and they're way better. What's the opportunity? What's the time? Bring it up to your boss kind of thing of, hey, we're better at taking these screenshots. Let's submit them to marketing so they can release these screenshots that actually show the game properly and not these marketing, oh, I'm staring at the floor or in a corner screen scrap.
Actually, I think whenever you're reviewing art with your lead or whenever you're creating a new area or creating a new character or something, just as a standard practice, create screenshots like you think could be used for marketing as a part of that review process. Because I found that the most effective way to basically do what you want to do or get someone to decide on the thing that you want them to do is to do half the work for them already. So when I'm generally, and plus that sounds more manipulative than I meant it. Basically, whenever I approach, if I want to ask someone something, I can suggest, here's one of two ways that I think this could go, and then they can pick one or two, or I can not give them that, and they'll have to spend longer thinking through everything themselves instead of me just giving them options and reasons to back that up. So as far as screenshots go,
should be presented the best, right? Present them as the best.
Sorry, I think we got
Oh, sorry.
talking over you.
No, I was going to say, you present something as the best presentation that it could be done, like a character. You give it nice orthographic views, a nice perspective view, information about the character and the image. It looks better than some dumb sketch.
Exactly. If you
or
can
an
just
environment.
Ready, marketing won't. If you can just have those ready, and your art director and producer know that those exist, you don't have to push them as being, here's a marketing piece. It's just like, hey, here's a thing I do that's good for presentation.
Yes.
Don't worry, it doesn't take a lot of time, but this is just what I do. Like
if an original image.
Maybe it's good for marketing, but I do this, and this is where I save them. Here's the link.
An original image that looks like a marketing image.
Exactly. Yeah, if you can just get in the habit of doing that and let people know that it exists and don't act like you're trying to push some kind of agenda, I think you have a good chance of actually getting those used instead. I haven't been in that exact situation, but that's the manner in which I would approach it. Just understand what other people's goals are and what they're trying to accomplish. And if you can provide something that aligns with their goals, that makes their job easier, it removes either hands-on effort or thought or guesswork from it. If you can help shortcut them halfway to the kind of thing that you understand they want to do and are tasked with doing, then more often than not, that will get used and that'll get done. Because really, you're helping someone out.
Yeah.
But never approach it from a manipulative standpoint.
Oh,
like
sure.
I said, your every action should be the moral basis for every action should be making the game better, following the rules, and doing the right thing.
The more you can present a piece of art that more people understand, if your presentation, was that a weird pronunciation?
No, sorry, go ahead.
I got a weird lag on my mic. Hold on. Yeah. But no, if your presentation, anybody can look at it and go, oh, I understand what that is, the better it is.
Yes.
Like I said, a nice orthographic and like a perspective of a character, anybody can say, oh, I understand what that is. Or like a nice orthographic environment scene. Somebody could look at that and say, okay, I can model everything in this scene because I understand this concept art. Because it's so intuitive. You look at it and you can recognize what's happening. And then a little information, hey, goes a long way. It's like, you ever seen a design doc that had really nice art, like nice borders, and every little image thing was presented well?
Yeah, totally.
It's, even if the design doc isn't that great, you're like, wow, this design doc looks great. And it kind of tricks you, not in a bad way, in a good way, to understanding or interpreting what the original artist or designer means. Does that make sense?
It's window dressing, and it helps provide context.
Yeah.
And
I guess if you walk by a store and you look at the window and you say, oh, they have this, this, and this, and I need these things because I'm shopping for groceries. That makes sense. This is basic marketing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess it's breaking it down the dumbest way, right? Window shopping.
No, I totally agree, and I don't know why it took so long for it to click the connection you're making. If you can get in the habit when you're working on a game to just be generating your own marketing-worthy screenshots, and those get used, that's another thing that you can link to and say, hey, look, this character turnaround this turnaround in screenshot of a character I made for my game just got posted on Kotaku. Just fucking got posted on Kotaku. Check this out. That's more good self-promotion for you and promotion for your game.
Yeah, so like viral, so to speak.
Yeah, shit. Fuck. That's really smart. I don't know why it took me that long to wrap my head around it.
Oh, no problem. But say it's the example of a game.
The best ideas that's come on the show. Damn, that's good.
Which part? Go ahead.
No, no, like your idea there. I mean, like just creating better art than marketing can, and helping them use it, and helping like encourage
Oh God.
your company to use it, and
That's
then
an
use
old story for me, man. I've been in so many companies where the screenshots like marketing was doing were just stupid. It's like there was a company I was at where marketing took a screenshot and they were staring at a corner at a floor. And I didn't understand, why are they submitting this to PC Gamer?
It's a screenshot of parallax mapping in action.
It was it was a screenshot of nothing. But God, that made me lose my damn point. I had a good one.
Fuck, sorry.
Ah.
If it's any consolation, I was complimenting you on your previous excellent point.
No. Damn it. Go ahead.
No, that was all I had. I was just saying it was a good idea.
Well, fair enough. What's next?
Interacting with other people on Facebook and Twitter. Like on Twitter, adding.
Well, here's what you do: don't spoil anything.
That would be bad. Yes. Don't announce your game on LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, especially LinkedIn.
That's your old gimmick. What did you say way back? Was like don't be a Kotaku casual.
Oh, those I don't remember, but basically, yeah, you're getting fuzzy.
Yeah, I'm all blurry. All right, go ahead. But no, I actually talked about this when I was in Austin at the that big conference they had there. One of the points I made was don't let yourself be breaking news unless it's good. Like, you don't want to say you were laid off or a company or whatever situation. It doesn't matter. You're at an unannounced project and you update your LinkedIn and you put the unannounced project in that. How many times, John, do you think that's been news? Like, at least 3 or 4 times now in the last few years.
In the last year and a half, I've seen it at least 20 times.
Well, that's more than I thought. But these are people. These are, this is just
suddenly
ridiculous. Ridiculously silly. They update their LinkedIn with their resume saying, I worked on blah, blah, blah. But this game hasn't, or whatever the project they're on, hasn't been announced. And now it's news. Jesus.
That is the worst thing you can do. That very nearly happened to me once. And that fucking shithead over at Kotaku has an entire column where he goes over this. Like, he goes through people's LinkedIns and draws inferences and makes guesses, and then broadcasts it and puts these people's LinkedIn pages on the front page news. And people give him that information. I mean, it's all publicly available, and he's just making educated guesses. He's a fucking prick for doing it and outing these people by name, but we give him the information, and it's those people's fault for doing it. Just, don't be the subject of breaking news, because assholes will take advantage of it. And I feel bad saying this, but if you've been that person, if you've outed your project, if you've been the source of negative breaking news about something, I would never hire you or work with you. Ever.
Oh, shit.
If I'm in a company and you're applying, if I have any kind of say, I'm going to tell the people hiring, they exercised poor judgment in this situation and did not act professionally. They're a liability. I'll leave it up to you to make the decision, because I don't have that much pull, but this person is a fucking security risk, and they exercise extremely poor judgment. And there's no telling how deeply that goes. I know people make mistakes, but that's a pretty fucking huge one. And it happens so often. I follow the news very closely. I go over like 2,500 to 3,000 headlines and hundreds of news stories every single day. And so every time something breaks because of LinkedIn, I see it. Although last week it happened again, and I can't remember which site it was, but they're classy enough not to link to or name the person on LinkedIn that the news came from. Unfortunately, that means they didn't really have an actual credible source, but it was better than fucking ruining that person's life because they ruined it themselves or potentially allowed to happen. No, I just feel weird about it because it nearly happened to me, and not because I was careless. I didn't actually name a project. Just someone was able to piece together enough information that they almost got severance withheld for our entire company and almost got us sued because someone was wanting a news story. So it's something I take really personally. When I see other people do that, my immediate reaction is just, what the fuck are you doing? No. Anyway, that's the end of my rant on that.
No, that's a very fair rant. You got to be careful. You don't want to be news. Here's the secret. Here's what you do. Shut up. And then nothing happens bad to you ever because you didn't say anything stupid. I actually worked with a guy. I will never out who he was or blah blah blah. But he was one of those Kotaku insiders, and he was a game developer I worked with. He told me after the fact. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Kotaku guy." So after that, I never told him anything secret. They're around you, man.
Wow.
You could be working at your studio, and one of your dudes is being, I don't know, I don't want to say paid, because I don't think he was paid. If he was paid, he probably made $1.
So he's just a snitch with no upside.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they're around you, man. You got to watch your mouth, even at work. Holy shit. Things just got crazy.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
So we work, my studio is 2 blocks south of Rockstar, and our project isn't announced yet. And when we're out and about, like at coffee shops and restaurants, we can't use the names of anything in our game or the title of our game or anything at all, just for fear of who might overhear, just because of that entire thing. Not that we it's not like we're thinking, oh, those Rockstar guys, they're not to be trusted. It's just
no. It's not that, as dumb as it sounds. There's people out there that want to scoop the fact that some game is being made.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
what to fucking do?
I'm 35. I'm a game developer. I've been making games for a long time. And I don't give a shit what games are coming out. Like, if someone's studio announced, breaking news, like we said, Halo 37. Remember that one talk we had, way back where someone was like, breaking news, the next Halo announced, because of some shit I said?
No, I don't remember that.
No, it was just a dumb tweet. But anyway, just shouting out to that. But the idea that someone says, oh no, Doom 5 is being made. Who cares? Really? If they make it and it comes out, I'll play it. But if they're going to announce some game I don't give a shit. Who cares?
In a weird way,
But for some reason, that's game media. Anyway, go ahead, John.
Totally. Yeah. To some degree, I think we're kind of disconnected from our fans and the passion and interest of our fans. We still play games, but I don't know. I think we're still kind of a different breed. But one of my favorite things to do to kind of play with that whole thing is every time I'm on an unannounced project, I always come up with the most implausible, horribly stupid, fake concept for a game to say that I'm working on.
The sun is made of bunny rabbits, and you're on a planet Made of carrots. Good luck.
That's really good. That's better than mine. Mine, a few years ago, when I first started doing this, I had John Deere Tractor Hunter online. Just
Nice.
an open world hunting game where you hunt tractors. And the fake absurd lie, the fake absurd lie that I have now for my current project is it's an MMO adaptation of Who's the Boss.
Hey, Angela. Hey, come in here.
The stanza of Danza.
Mona's trying to get on my cock. Angela, get in here and suck it before she jumps on me.
It almost seemed like you had that ready.
Thoughts and prayers.
Oh my god, I'm fucking turning red.
Yeah, 10 seconds of John laughing, and me too. Thoughts and prayers. Vanessa. I love some Tony Danza. Oh, don't.
No one
You
else.
got me started, so I can't say don't get me started. What a cliche thing to say.
Will understand that at all. I've tried. So my company is Avalanche was started in Sweden. We have a lot of Swedish people and Europeans at our office in New York City. And when I told them that joke, it's just completely lost on them culturally.
That is. Oh, if there's anything I love about video game development, it's going to other countries and telling jokes that bomb. Like jokes that no one would ever get because it's locally related to something in America that they've never heard of.
So, I just thought of a terrible game concept. Rob Lowe Teen Sex Simulator. You should probably edit that out. That was really bad.
Well, what I need is one of those sound boxes so I can just play sound effects. So I can play the crickets or like a car crash. That'd be dope. But what does this have to do, John? Post-launch. Your portfolio. Oh my God.
I'm still stuck in your Tony Danza impression.
Hey, what are you gonna do? Hey, thoughts and prayers goes out to John Jones. He's trying to talk about portfolios here. Hey,
Jesus.
what do you think about video games, John? Let's go.
I think you should do an entire episode as Tony Danza.
It's a really bad impression. I learned it from Anthony Cumia.
His last name sounds like Khmer in Tony Danza's accent. That would have been a good time for crickets.
Hey, what are you gonna do, John, with all this social media? Are you on Twitter?
Yes. So,
Sorry, folks.
follow and respond to interesting people on Twitter, like artists, art directors, leads, just interesting game development luminaries. Just find out who your friends are tweeting, and then follow these people. Then interact with them meaningfully. If they post something interesting, retweet it. Like, don't be a total whore. Like, be your own person. Generate your own content, but just be there. Check in. Spend like maybe 15, 20 minutes a day sticking around on Twitter on your phone, talking to people, and just being present and interacting. Same for Facebook, Google Plus. If you care, some people do, some people don't. I kind of don't. But yeah,
Dude, did G Plus fail, or what? I mean, honestly, I don't.
It has over 400 million active users, which is fucking amazing. It dwarfs even Twitter, I believe.
I mean, I loved it back in the day. And the G Plus Hangout, beautiful, right?
Oh yeah.
Google's tools are amazing. Google Docs, all that shit. But for some reason, the G Plus, people don't like it. I mean, I think it's cool, but for some reason, I've tried. What do you think? Google Plus?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I just don't feel compelled to use it instead of Facebook. I see him as just too. It's the same thing basically. It's just a different flavor. As much as I love Google, as Google Plus for some reason it's never really stuck with me. I mean, like I have an Android phone, Android tablet. I have a fucking Chromebook from the very first Chromebook beta that I got for free because I told Google how much I loved Google and how I would like to have one. I use all Google software to like run my business before Avalanche. I use all Google software at work. I'm a massive fucking Google whore. Like it's occurred to me to look for T-shirts at the Google store that I can buy. I'm a huge Google whore.
But, yeah, it's the best. It's just for some reason G Plus is like, I don't know. I just don't click it no more. I don't know. What do I do?
Yeah, I basically never log in. I never quite got it. But as far as social media stuff goes, yeah, just spend 15 or 20 minutes a day total on Facebook and Twitter. Respond to people. Don't just like. Don't just say LOL or nice work.
Jesus. That's like old school like replying advice, right? Don't be like, good job. That's the worst advice.
LOL, so true.
You post some art, somebody goes, great. What's the point? But yeah, like you said earlier, it was funny that Tony Danza led you into it talking about social media. But hey, thoughts and prayers. But yeah, Twitter, love it. One of the things I love about it is most of the people I have that are friends, those guys are on Facebook. This is me. Facebook is for friends and family and stuff. Twitter is like, I follow artists and other people like bands or comedians or whatever that say, hey, I'm in town. Like things that are important now. Or people that develop, they say, here's news. This is what I like about Twitter. It's the recent information. Whereas Facebook, I have lots of artists on that as well. But it seems like different social media have different values. Like which ones do you value for different reasons?
That's actually an excellent breakdown of what's different about each. Yeah, I agree with that utterly. They're all for different things except Google Plus.
That's for nothing. Just kidding. But no, like say like Facebook. I got a lot of people that I like or friends that share art. I love seeing it there. But there's some people that I just like. Okay, you're my friend on Facebook, so I don't follow you on Twitter because I like seeing what you do on Facebook, but I don't like seeing on Twitter. Or
sure, yeah, totally.
Yeah. Do you have any different values or different say some people like Pinterest or whatever, like which ones do you like for what reason?
Twitter I like it because it's essentially it reminds me of IRC in a way. So you get instant immediate information and you can jump into and out of conversations very quickly and seamlessly with no real pressure to reply. But if you're attentive to it, it can be fascinating and dynamic, and you can find out what's happening and where. Like, I can ask almost any question on Twitter and have 5 answers within, like, 5 minutes of posting and solve any problem I have. And I can learn things incredibly easily from it from really interesting people, like whether I know them or not. And I like that other people don't have to be a friend with you in order for you to follow them. You can really get to kind of pick and curate how you follow people and how you interact. And I think that the 140 character limit is a really interesting constraint that forces people to get the fuck to the point and learn to communicate well. And I think that in a weird way, so it can promote people being illiterate, but I think it can also promote people forcing them to make their ideas clearer and easy to understand and state and communicate. And strangely, in a better way, they're in a way give them more effective means of communication than they would have if they didn't have some kind of constraint placed on it.
Yeah, I kind of believe that things like Twitter or social media in general, it creates this limitation where it actually evolves human communication.
I completely agree.
I believe, I've done a lot of stupid tutorials and crap that, people like it, whatever, but I learned so much from the internet, and the way Twitter works is like, oh, you got this many words. Make it happen.
Yeah, I think that's freaking incredible. And plus, in Twitter, since you don't really have a profile page the same way that you do with Facebook, it's your account on Twitter is kind of your voice, Like, I mean, you really are your voice and what you say and what you tweet. Whereas with Facebook, you have a landing page, and you have the organized, curated content posted by people under their real name, unless they're assholes. And you have a page where you can look at somebody's photos and what music they like and all about them. It's a very different kind of thing. More and more, I prefer Twitter to Facebook.
Unless you're a celebrity, which has some PR agent typing all the tweets.
Oh yeah, if you don't, exactly. But yeah, actually, one of my favorite Twitter follows is all of the anonymous Twitter accounts. They post like crazy bleeding edge news that a lot of other media outlets are either late to cover or don't cover at all, and it's really
anonymous. The news.
Yeah.
Anonymous. What do you call it? Anonymous. That's it.
I think it's a non-news.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like a non-news or something. Good news site. Yeah.
Yeah, I've quite enjoyed that.
That's what I like about Twitter the most is you follow like a news guy, or not a guy, or one person or Twitter account in particular that you're interested in. It might be something local, like say you're in New York and you like comedy, so you'd follow Comedy Cellar, and you would deal with their dumbass half a joke tweets that they make every now and again, because that's what comedy clubs do. Comedy Works here in Denver does the same shit. They're always like half-ass joking around, just stupid-ass tweets. Just tweet when talent's in town. Come on, get real.
Actually,
but yeah, that's why you follow people, for their information.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to just get a constant, up-to-date, instant feed of information like that, especially if you use lists. Like I have one for world news, politics, director-level people, artists I like. There's people I think that are interesting I like to follow, close friends. So using like a Twitter client like Plume, I'm able to go through all these different lists. And, so what are the interesting director-level people saying today? There's something cool. I'll reply to that. I'll retweet this. What are my friends saying? Or like, hey, I'll go through all my Twitter feeds for, cool artists that are posting their shit. Like, wow, I'm going to retweet that or reply and ask a question. Just spend 15 minutes a day. Engage.
You can make a list on Twitter and just say, you don't have to follow all these fuckers on Twitter. Because, most people on Twitter are just jerks, spam. Fuck them. Don't follow anybody. Just make a list. Be like, this thing I like, game art, world news, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, most people don't realize that you can read a list without following the people on the list.
All right, at this point, we decided to wrap up the show. So, thanks for listening again, folks. See you next time.